for coming out on such a cold night. Unfortunately, President Kukler is not able to attend the meeting, nor Trustee Gale or Trustee Peterson. But we do have, I'm sorry, Trustee McGee, excuse me, thank you. But we do have a quorum, so we will get started with the meeting. I'd like to thank the trustees that are able to make it tonight. Thank you for coming out. And this meeting's going to be socially adjusted for COVID reasons. So I see everybody's spread out there, 6 feet apart, wearing masks here at the meeting as well as in Village Hall, regardless of your vaccination status. So thank you for being patient with that. The video of the meeting is being broadcast on cable television, YouTube, and will also be available on Facebook and posted to the Village website. I'd like to call the meeting to order with a roll call. Trustee Augustine.
Here.
Trustee Gale. Trustee Katinik.
Here.
Trustee McGee. Trustee O'Brien.
Here.
And Trustee Peterson.
Here.
So seeing that we do have 4 trustees, as I mentioned before, that is a quorum. I'd like to ask if there's a motion to have our senior trustee, Trustee Katinik, nominated for chairperson pro tem to preside over this meeting.
A motion.
Second.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? And I would like to just mention that although he's acting as chair pro tem for the meeting, he's still a trustee and his vote still counts.
Okay, thank you, Clerk Saladino. With the meeting called to order and a quorum being present, I would ask the audience to rise. I'm going to ask our newest trustee, Trustee O'Brien, to lead us in the pledge, please.
States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty for all.
Okay, thank you very much. We will start out the meeting with the president's reports, which I will handle. A few items to make note of. First off, regarding COVID-19, I'd like to start out by thanking the residents and the businesses for their continued diligence with following CDC and IDPH guidelines to reduce the transmission of COVID-19. Health professionals continue to strongly encourage everyone eligible to pursue either vaccinations or booster shots. Last week, the IDPH adopted CDC recommendations for booster doses for children aged 12 to 15, 5 months after receiving the second dose of the Pfizer vaccine. For more information regarding booster shot eligibility and find a vaccination center near you, please visit www.vaccines.gov. Again, that's www.vaccines.gov. Effective January 3rd, the Cook County Department of Public Health is requiring proof of vaccinations for customers dining in indoor settings where food or drink are served and certain other businesses. For more information regarding this order, please visit the Cook County Department of Public Health website at www.cookcountypublichealth.org. Again, that's www.cookcountypublichealth.org. The village continues to urge all residents to continue to diligently follow health guidelines, which includes wearing a mask, washing your hands, and your social distancing. For more information regarding COVID-19, please feel free to visit the village website at www.lagrangeil.gov/COVID. Second item on the President's report regards stormwater management. Since our significant storm event this past June, the village has been reporting on the village's efforts to help reduce flooding and identify funding for flood mitigation projects through a number of legislative, legal, and engineering initiatives. The village has identified projects to help reduce flooding, each of which has its own challenges, costs, and benefits. Additional projects are also in the process of being studied by our village engineers. Each of these projects require partnership with various agencies, such as the MWRD, Illinois Department of Transportation, Cook County, and potentially other taxing bodies. This isn't only a LaGrange problem, but a regional problem, and we continue regarding these and other flood control initiatives. We'll document that will be available at Village Hall and our library, and posted along with the village manager's message on the village website in advance of the meeting. Village residents are invited to attend and participate in budget discussions. Fourth, back to school. This week of January 10th marks the return of school for most elementary and high school students in the area. Please be reminded that the speed limit around schools is 20 miles an hour. Please drive carefully through LaGrange, heeding to pedestrians, school students, joggers. Please give them the right of way. Lastly, on behalf of the village trustees and clerk, I'd like to pass along our sympathy to President Kukler and his family in the loss of his father, Robert Kukler, who passed away in late December at the age of 83. Robert was a veteran of the U.S. Air Force and is survived by his wife, Joy, and his children, Robbie, Mark, Karen, and Colleen. At this time, I'd like to take a moment of silence for Robert. Thank you. Okay, at this point, I will ask our village manager if there's a village manager's report.
Thank you very much. During the winter, Public Works crews work diligently to keep village streets, sidewalks, and parking lots clear of snow and ice and safe for travel. To assist the department with snow plowing operations, please be aware that on-street parking is restricted when snowfall exceeds 2 or more inches. We have received some calls from concerned residents regarding icy sidewalks due to the recent freezing, rain, and cold temperatures, and we request that residents assist the village and their neighbors by clearing public sidewalks adjacent to their property whenever possible. If there is a fire hydrant next to your property, the fire department also requests assistance by maintaining a 3-foot perimeter clear snow area around the hydrant. We thank residents in advance for their cooperation. Please call the Department of Public Works with any questions or for additional information regarding snow plowing at 708-579-2328. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Village Manager Peterson. At this point, I will ask Clerk Saladino to read the items on the consent agenda, followed by any items that are listed under current business.
Matters on the consent agenda will be considered by a single motion and vote because they've already been considered fully by the board at a previous meeting or have been determined to be of routine nature. Any member of the Board of Trustees may request that an item be moved from the consent agenda to current business for separate consideration. Item A, agreement, Lieutenant Promotional Examination Services. Item B, minutes of the Village of LaGrange Board of Trustees regular meeting, Monday, December 13th, 2021. Item C, consolidated voucher 211227. Item D, consolidated voucher 220110. Under current business, this agenda item includes consideration of matters being presented to the Board of Trustees for action. Currently tonight, there are no items on this agenda.
Great, thank you, Clerk Saladino. With that, I'll look for a motion on the consent agenda.
A motion to accept the consent agenda?
Second.
Great, thank you. So at this point, I will pause and ask from the audience if there's any questions that have been referenced that are on our agenda tonight. Okay, with no questions, at this time, there is a motion on the floor and a second on the consent agenda. Is there any discussion or questions from our trustees? Trustee Augustine.
Thank you, President Pro Tem. As previously stated, I would just like to recuse myself from the items related to our village prosecutor.
Noted. Okay, with no other questions, Clerk Saladino, if you would do a roll call vote, please.
Trustee Peterson?
Aye.
Trustee O'Brien?
Aye.
Trustee Augustine?
Aye.
Trustee Kotinik?
Aye. Okay, consent agenda motion passes unanimously. With no current business on the agenda, at this point, I would ask for public comments for matters that are not on our agenda tonight. Sure, please feel free to approach.
Hi, my name is Cindy Brom, and I'm curious about the results of the Burke studies, which we know were due in December. So we'd love to hear something. Again, it just reminds me of in June, we were complaining about a lack of a sense of urgency, and it appears that some of the trustees don't have any update of what the results of those studies are. So I would like to request in the next board meeting that there's a report of those studies and an update of what is happening with the flood mitigation. Thank
Right.
you.
Thank you, Ms. Brom. I'll actually ask Rick Colby if you have any update to provide at this point to the broader forum.
Thank you, and thank you for those comments. As outlined in the President's report, again, the position of the village remains seeking willing partners to solve this regional flooding issue. Again, a big component of this from a technical perspective is defining available outlets to allow the village to construct a stormwater system as it is intended to do for many years to address flooding in the South Basin area. So there's a lot of components to the Burke study, most recently being the application for a FEMA BRIC grant that was completed. And that's the major update for the general public.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Colby. Are there any other questions from our audience? Okay, with no further questions, at this point, I will ask if there are any trustee comments. Trustee Augustine.
Thank you, President Pro Tem Enoch. I just wanted to simply say thank you to the village staff and to our police and fire department for all the work they're doing in these cold times, but also for the work that I had the proximity to witness when one of my neighbors' homes caught on fire a couple of weeks ago. They responded quickly and did an incredible job in keeping that situation from being any worse than it could have been, from crowd control to organizing what appeared to be a dozen different other departments who came in to assist. So it was impressive to watch. It was sad to watch, but I was really proud of our team. So thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Augustine. Any other trustee comments? Okay, with no comments, we have no closed session today, so that will conclude our meeting. I will seek a motion to adjourn.
I move we call for adjournment.
Second.
Voice vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Okay, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you for your time.